So the latest story from Congo is that the United States says that Rwanda and Congo leaders, the president, have agreed on steps to de-escalate. And that is the story. So the story goes that the U.S. intelligence chief secured promises from the leaders of Rwanda and the DRC to de-escalate after alarm over a surge in violence. So the director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, the woman pictured here, traveled. So she took a plane from the US and traveled to the two countries on Sunday and Monday. So to ensure that the two presidents promised that they are going to de-escalate. And on Sunday she went to Rwanda, and later on Monday she went to Congo. And the Rwandan President Paul Kagame and Congo President Felix Tshisekedi each offered commitment to Haines to de-escalate tensions in eastern DRC. So now let's take a pause there. This means the US knows what is happening in eastern Congo. They also know that Rwanda is involved. They are the aggressors. They are the villains. Of course, otherwise, why did they go to Rwanda? If Rwanda is innocent, why didn't they go to Uganda or Burundi? So they know. And they also know Congo is a victim. So the best thing to do in this case is to sanction Rwanda. And to sanction Rwanda is basically to stop giving Rwanda the foreign aid that they give Rwanda. They give Rwanda a lot of money, and they even finance Rwandan defense budget. So they should stop financing Rwandan defense budget if they are serious, that is. And they give Rwanda a lot of money, and some of this money buys weapons and uniform that is given to M23, as you can see from this photo here. In the last few weeks, M23 have been seen with this new uniform. It looks weird. It looks like Ethiopian kind of uniform. So they've been giving them this new uniform, as you can see, and new guns. These dark composite guns are the Chinese Norinco CQ, I think, 233 rifle. So we know Rwanda is the only country that buys Chinese weapons, or a lot of Chinese weapons in the region, because we know Uganda buys from Russia, Kenya buys from the US and other countries like that, and Rwanda buys from China. So these guns and this uniform came from Rwanda. And these guys in this photo, these are Rwandan soldiers in Congo, pretending to be M23. And not pretending, they are M23, and M23 are just Rwandan soldiers in Congo, pretending to be rebels, even though we know they are terrorists. They are terrorists. That's what they are. And it's not the first time that the US has said this. It's not the first time the US has told us they've spoken to the two presidents and they are going to de-escalate. About 2 weeks ago, that is on the 7th of November, according to this article here. This was 7th of November, as you can see. The US Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, urged the Rwanda and Congo president to de-escalate tensions and withdraw troops from their border following increased fighting that has displaced nearly 7 million people. So that was the story then. And according to the Secretary of State Blinken, he said that he spoke on phone separately by phone with the Congolese President Felix and the Rwandan President Kagame about that situation. And they promised him they are going to de-escalate. What followed in the last 2 weeks is that the Congolese army has not done any fighting, but the Rwandan proxies and Rwandan soldiers were seen crossing the border from Rwanda, entering Congo. We have drone footage to show that. We have photos to prove that they are they're in Congo today. So after that call, Paul Kagame still went ahead and sent his troops to Congo to reinforce these rebels or these terrorists called M23 who are fighting by local self-defense group called Wazalendo, or the local militias called Wazalendo. So after Anthony Blinken, Rwanda escalated. 2 weeks later, the head of intelligence in Rwanda, this lady here, is now telling us she now had to travel because it seems making calls on phone is not working. So she had to take a plane, travel to these two countries, meet the president of Rwanda and the one of Congo. Instead of doing all that, just sanction Rwanda. Stop giving them money. Stop giving them defense budget, because that is the money that they are using to kill people, and that means then those people have been killed by the United States or the United States taxpayers' money. That's how it is. If you finance a terrorist group, by extension, you're also, committing those crimes. And that is what the US and American people are doing by financing this mad dictator. You know that. Now, today, the story is that there've been new attacks, new escalation by Rwandan troops, stroke M23. And as you can see, this is the city of Goma. You go west, this town of Sake that these Rwandan proxies have always tried to attack. And you move north following this road, go past Bibatama mines. You remember the coltan mines of Bibatama, and tin and gold mines that are located here. Also a region of interest for these Rwandans. So you go and get to Burungu. After Burungu, you find yourself in Kichanga, Kahe. This is the region where we have close to 100,000 people who have been displaced from their homes by these M23 and Rwandan troops. So there's a UN camp here in Kichanga. And in the last 2 weeks, these Rwandan soldiers, these Rwandan proxies and M23 rebel terrorists, they've been trying to take this town. And every time they've failed because, as you can see, these Wazalendo guys keep kicking them back, right? But let me take you to now north of Kichanga, 15 kilometers north of Kichanga. As you follow this road, you come to the township of Mweso. So today in the morning, M23 captured this township. So that means they're about 15 kilometers away from Kichanga. And that is what is happening in Congo. And Wazalendo militia tried to stop them, and there were heavy fighting and heavy casualties on both sides. And these M23 using Rwandan supplied weapons and drones to, surveil, were able to take this township of Mweso from the Wazalendo from there. So they're headed now to Kichanga itself. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening today. So Rwanda is escalating. While at the same time, FRDC are observing the ceasefire. The ceasefire that, they signed last year. So that is the latest from Congo.